I want to get into these questions. I'm really glad that you picked the questions that you did, because these are not ways that you and I know each other, really. So I'm excited to get to know you through the questions you picked and the answers that you give us. And I'm just gonna like I said, I edit this stuff, so I'll cut out the beginning and I'll cut out the end, and we'll just capture these questions. You're speaking to an audience who could be asked the same thing anytime, because I'm wanting to roll through our community with a member spotlight and a video of everybody on our community.
Mm-hmm.
And then if someone else invites someone into the community, I'm going to ask them to do this with their friend they've invited, so they get to introduce, so that we all have this archive of videos, so that anybody new to the community can go back and like virtually meet people on their own timing. So
Cool. That
that's the
sounds
purpose.
awesome.
Yeah, that's the purpose of this thing. And you specifically, I kind of pushed hard to do this soon, because you're going to lead us in our first ever dance party.
Hey.
Yeah.
You know, I do.
Yes. And I think, I've said this to a lot of people, and I think I've said this to you too, but my body is in mind, body, spirit. My attention to my body comes last, unfortunately. And I was a dancer when I was little, like that was my thing. And I shut down my ability to express myself and have fun and all that kind of stuff somewhere along middle school, maybe even like if I had enough to drink in college, that girl would come out. But mostly that shut down. And the reason I was so excited that you said yes was because I met you when I came to a Zumba class over on 20th Street in the little center that Prestigious Nails is part of.
Right.
It's a restaurant now, but
it was called Fitrition.
Fitrition.
That's right.
Yes. And I walked in there hoping that I would get exactly what I got, which was an environment where I felt safe to get back in touch with my groove and have some fun and give myself some exercise. And the community that you attracted, every woman that was in that room, and you made me feel like that was possible.
Oh,
so I wanted to do the same thing for this community. And some people are really excited to come on the 19th and just get the vibe going and shake some shit loose while we're having fun.
There you go. Get it litty. We're gonna get it litty. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to the questions, and then I may say another couple of things about you at the end that I want everybody to know if you haven't shared it yet. So.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going into. I thought I put it in don't disturb, but I just heard a ding, so that means it didn't. There. Now we're at don't disturb. Gotcha.
Okay. I'm gonna do that too. Good idea. All right. So the first question on this list, and we can bounce around too, but I'll start with the first question. What got you through a difficult transition?
The first thing that I thought of when I thought of this particular question is my mom. I lost my mom in 2013. It was a sort of a long, drawn out process of her illness, just kept progressing and progressing. And I knew the day was coming, but I didn't know when. And I tried my best to sort of stay hopeful, but I saw how hard it was on her and how much she suffered. And I just remember her always being a light to people. And she was always like the life of the party. She was the joy. As soon as she walked in the room, she was so loud and crazy. And even in her like later years when she was sick, she was still the life of the party at the nursing home. She was still the joy and everybody's friend. And she sat at the cool table at the nursing home. And I loved that I got to spend that much time with her and to see her in all sort of forms through her health. But when she finally passed, I just remembered that she wanted me to keep doing what I'm doing. And she wanted me to keep being a light and to keep being a joy and to keep bringing whatever it is that I've been gifted with to the world and to not stop. And so while I was dealing with her death, I remember that I still went into work and I taught my classes. And that 1 hour of exercise, that 1 hour of dance, that 1 hour of just sort of escaping from my reality of having to experience that got me through that very challenging time, that transition of going from having a mom to not having one. And she wouldn't want me to stop. She wouldn't want me to give up and to be sad. She would want me to keep dancing and to keep just allowing my body to, I guess, cope with what was going on, the sadness, but to still find joy in the world and in music and in the people that were around me. What Zumba was beautiful is that what made Zumba beautiful was that I made so many friends and I made so many um, people that followed me and that would, want to know how mom was doing and, were there to care for me and to give me their energy to sort of keep lifting me up. And so I think recognizing that we all have gifts and we have to tune into those gifts and to not let them dim even in our darkest times. That can bring us back to the right place, the right energy faster if you just sort of keep that what it was you. So yeah, that transition from losing her to keep going, it was exercise, was fitness, was dance, was so many things. So yeah.
That's beautiful. And here's where I'm going to put that one thing that I wanted to add at the end. When COVID started and locking us down and our kids went into homeschooling, um, you were the light in my daughter's eye at bedtime. She really struggled with online schooling. I really struggled. let's put that first. I really struggled with her online schooling, and bedtime became really fun for her because you were doing the online wrapping with books, and and she can really have difficult transitions. I mean, she's a kid who's always struggled with transitions, and that was a big one.
Mhm.
Homeschooling. And I just love that we got to share um, your pets and your all the energy that you brought to that. So I just want to share a lot of gratitude for
Oh,
you doing exactly what you said. You wanted to be a light and you wanted to bring your unique qualities and gifts to people. I am 100% stamping, yes, you did that. And you've helped us, our family, through a really tough time when COVID started. So thank you on behalf
oh,
of all of the people who got to have the bedtime stories.
that was so
The
much fun
flashing
for me
lights.
too.
It was like you can do a rave with your kids at bedtime. It's possible.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys had fun with those. I did too. That's the thing is that there's so much fun to be had, and no matter how old you are, even at 42, I'm still a big old kid, and I want to be silly, and I want to have fun, and I want to just again bring joy in these dark times, and it was crazy. And I can only imagine how hard it was for the kids not being able to connect and to see their friends and to be in a classroom. And I wanted to bring a little bit of what I did in my classroom to everybody. And I think a good thing that the pandemic allowed was it just sort of broadened my reach. And so, yeah, I was able to
Yeah.
create a YouTube page, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I was already following your videos of inside your classroom, but it really added a personal touch. You know, you doing shout outs to the kids, like you wouldn't believe Scout levitated off of her bed when you said hi to her. It's crazy. It's just
Oh,
it's really cool. I just love that you did that.
thank you.
Yeah. So transitioning to the next question. You have a favorite inspirational quote?
Yes, and it's such a basic one because it's one that everybody I think uses and comes to is like it's Gandhi. It's be the change you want to see in the world. And I want this world to be a loving, joyful, accepting, kind, um, just a wondrous place where we never stop wondering about all the things that are around us and in us. The desires to create and to be in a world where poetry is still very much alive and dance is very much an art, and all of these things that I tap into. I want people to be inspired, and I want to be inspired by them. And I am. I'm so inspired by all these writers doing great things and all these dancers, fusing and creating new formats and bringing it into different sort of technologies and stuff. And it's so cool. I mean, TikTok is wild. And I'm only barely into it, but I just think it's so cool that the dancing is sort of celebrated there. And I'm happy that I want to sort of also be a part of that.
Wow, you might turn me into a TikTok user. I had never considered the connection to dance on TikTok as like if Instagram is photography and visual art that I love and TikTok is dance, I might have to dip my toe in that water.
Yeah, no, I see some amazing salsa videos that are shared on Instagram from TikTok. And I like and share, and I have a group of friends that are we're just sending each other these videos of caleño style salsa and bachata and hip hop, and it's like yes, I'm all about it. So
I'm in. I love it.
I'll
Um,
include you in that group.
okay, cool. Yeah, get me in there.
Yeah.
The next question we kind of started talking about, what's your relationship or lack of relationship with creativity, expression through art, writing, and movement? I think we just answered that. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Oh God, yes. So I am a person who is hyper creative. Like it's like a fault of mine, and that my ideas are always sort of just brimming over, and I want to do so much, and I cannot give complete sort of like I can't allow myself to just focus on one because there are so many things that I want to do, and deep down inside, and I think this is not a secret anymore, but I want to be a writer when I grow up, whatever that means. I mean, at 42, I still haven't grown up yet, but I want to write. I have these stories that I've begun. I'm writing a play right now. I'm writing poetry, and all the while I'm also making jewelry, and I'm dancing and I'm DJing and I am buying and using costumes to present who knows what. And so there's just so much creative energy in me. And it could be that I was one of those kids that were just never diagnosed with ADHD. And I just sort of channeled that into these other sort of crazy things that have made me into the personality that I am. I think everybody sees all of these costumes on Facebook and Instagram, and they see the dancing side of me, they see the Zumba, all that is definitely out there, but there's this part of me that really wants the writer angel to be just as recognized. And so that lack, I think, is that department that I'm working on. I'm really getting myself to these leaps and bounds in regards to my writing and my work. And yeah, we'll see. You may be seeing more of that.
I would love to see more of that.
Yeah.
How have you explored and invested in your gifts, talents, skills, or superpowers? And I know you have some superpowers that maybe not everybody knows about, your hidden identities and superpowers.
Yeah, so for sure, I think I do this like sort of really weird costumey type drag. I am dressing up in costumes all the time, and I use those costumes throughout the year. I'm doing nursing home parties, and I'll dress up as Elvis or as a BG or MC Hammer, and I'll just go and dance and just be silly with them, or I'll use the costumes when I'm DJing. And for a while, my sort of alter ego was Superman, because there's a little curl right here that's happening. You know, it's hidden. There it goes. That somehow manifested into, hey, wouldn't Angel make a great Superman? And let's buy him a costume. And so the Children's Museum sort of led that. And I was celebrating my birthday for like 5 years. I think at some point I was 70 or 82 years old as Superman. And the kids would sing to me, and you just become this character. And it was, so acting in a lot of it is a lot of it. And so other things that I invest probably too much money in is my beads and my jewelry stuff, that I have so many plans and so many things I want to do, but then I end up falling in love with them and I don't sell them. So I'm not turning around the profit. And so yeah, and then birthday, I end up giving them as gifts. And so everybody gets these very, very personalized gifts for birthdays and Christmas, that kind of stuff. So it's also good. But with writing, I definitely need to be investing more into more time and learning how to manage and sort of create boundaries, I think, with my work life, my social life, my spiritual life. I want all these things to sort of just work together and to allow the one that means the most to sort of flourish. So yeah, that's what I need to work on.
Love it. And it really resonates with me.
Yeah,
Um,
very much.
yeah, I don't know if you know, but I'm also writing, and
Yeah.
been in a writing group for a year, a little over a year. We were taking a class together, and then the majority of the classmates formed a writing group, and we meet once a week, and we've been doing it for over a year now. But it's one of my favorite spiritual practices. It's amazing what you can get in there and find out about yourself and your stories and your perspectives. And that's what I like about writing. I'm not sure, I've submitted some pieces but not been published. But it's always this like delicate balance of, am I doing this just for me, or is there something that might be, helpful in here to someone else? So
Absolutely, that desire to connect
yeah,
is a big thing. It's a big thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
This last question, I'm curious why you put it on the list, because in my mind, the question is, how do you find opportunities to engage them, these skills and these talents? It just seems like you are in the flow from this perspective. Like this, you just exude these things. So I'm curious how you feel about that, how you find opportunities to engage these gifts, talents, skills, superpowers, all the things.
That question fascinated me too as I thought about it. And it really, the honest to God truth is that they find me. Somehow or another, somebody sees, or something just sort of happens and clicks. And before I know it, I'm a master of something totally outside of what I thought I would ever be doing. With dancing, I remember being a kid, and my grandma would always say to me, if you studied the way you danced, you would be a very, very rich man. And I was like, what? And I'm just in the kitchen dancing with her, and I never put any thought to it, but sort of made it through high school and then in college, and I was like, okay, I remember this dancing. This is kind of stuff that I can do. And then before I know it, I was the best dancer in the class. And when it came down to the final in country and western dance class in college, the professor put all the girls, which was like 30 girls, along the wall, and then he put like the 5 of us guys on the other wall, and they're like, go pick who you want to take your final with. And I was like attacked because I think I was just so in it. I just love the music. I love the expression. I love the ability to just sort of become one with the songs. And I think that that really sort of people hone into that. Um, the same thing with the writing. You know, I've been told, and I've had mentors that have picked up something that I've written, that I've said, and they connected with it immediately, and they said, "Please keep doing this, because if you're doing the world a grave injustice if you don't keep doing it." And that stuff sort of stays with you. You sort of remember those things when you're connecting to a piece or a character or a setting or something. And so, yeah, I think I've always sort of maybe started something in a small way, and then people gravitate to the energy that's being created, and before I know it, it's a full-on thing. It's one of my things, and my resume is ridiculous. But I think that it just means that I have fun, and I allow myself to just, I put myself out there. I'm hardly ever restrained when it comes to just being, you know, the first on the dance floor, to being the first at the reading, you know, to not just sort of be embarrassed or ashamed of something that I enjoy doing. And so that's, I think, a big key to it too. So when it comes down to dancing, you know, put down the guards and open the windows and let everybody see, because it's you being you, and you're just, you know, expressing yourself. It's a beautiful thing.
I love that, and I am so grateful. I want to end here because I want to say that the world needs so much more of that. And I am so grateful that you are inspiring so many people, and that our community over here is going to get to benefit from all that you bring and all that comes out of us when we get to be led by you in our dance party. So
I'm excited.
I can't wait. Yeah, I am too, and I'm so grateful you took this time to chat with me today, so that other people will get to meet you ahead of the event and get excited. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
I guess
thank you for thinking about me, and for considering me as a person that you wanted to be involved in this. I'm honored as well.
I'm just one of those 30 girls along the wall trying to get you before anybody else does.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Angel. You have a great night.
Thank you. We'll see y'all
Okay.
later.
All right.
Enjoy.
Bye.